Turns out that this summer's riots were committed mostly by the young, the poor, those with learning disabilities and those with previous convictions. We need people to invest in their society, to pay into pension funds, to work in the public sector, to feel that we all belong, to feel valued. Rusbring in The Guardian quotes a young person who said, "If you take away someone's future, they will have nothing to lose."
And how have the cuts directly affected the service that you provide for the public? How is it?
Oh, tremendously.
Yeah.
There's less people doing more work, and they're still trying to deliver the best service that they can, and it's very, very difficult. The members, members of staff are working flat out and basically making themselves poorly. I think the government's probably wanting, people to die before they can claim the pension.
Well, I work in children's services, and turnover of staff's tremendous. Agency staff, coming and going. There's no consistency for service users, so it's just knock-on effect. Nobody's staying.
The Gini coefficient measure of overall inequality suggests that inequality in the UK is higher than at any time in the last 30 years, which means greater amounts of wealth controlled by a smaller group. Now, could this be an opportunity for increased taxes of the rich, or should we cut the money to pensioners? Tricky one, that,
Well, also many people made the choices to work for the health service where they could have gone into the private sector and earned more because they come through the scientific career, and you're trading off what you were guaranteed. So you've sacrificed the wealth and the perks on a promise that you would dedicate your life to the sector and get a decent pension in return, and that's been taken away.
Directly affected you or people you know?
Yes, I've been made redundant already from part of my work, and I'm expecting more redundancies.
Okay, and do you feel like positive? Do you feel like the government are going to listen, or do you think they're just going to be ignored?
Well, this is only a small place, isn't it, Halifax? But I think we've got a very loud voice. And I do hope that the government do listen, because this is what we're seeing in Halifax is just a small example of what's going on throughout the country. Yeah. And I do hope the government listen, because they clearly haven't been listening so far.
This government wants to incentivise the rich, the bankers, the hedge fund managers and the private sector bosses with pensions we can only imagine, but clearly doesn't want to believe we're incentivised the same way. Fair reward for our labours? Remind me again. What did we do wrong? Their solution to the problem of the recession is to impose savage cuts. And this is likely to reduce the people on the streets and encourage growth. How?
Why are you here today?
Well, we're here, to protest about our pensions. We've paid into this pension scheme 6.5% of our salary. I've been here for 21 years and paid in. And they now want me to pay more. They want me to work longer, and they want to, give me less back. Yeah. So it's just they just take all the time, and I'm hoping that there is a big disruption of services so that the government will listen to us.
These were our terms and conditions when we signed up. It was part of our contract that this is the pension you would get, and now they're rescinding on that.
I think the most important thing is that public sector workers, as what we've been doing in Calderdale, and we've taken a precedent over this, as we did in February with the Northern Towns Against Cuts. I think the most important thing is for people to work together and to join trade unions, because the trade unions aren't dinosaurs. The trade unions have got a very, very powerful voice. And united, that's what we need to be doing, to convincing the rest of the public that we haven't got gold-plated pensions and that we do need to work together.
And what would you say to George Osborne if you could say anything to him right now?
In one word? A polite word? It's a very, very difficult question, because many, many things come to mind, and many, many words come to mind as well. I think the thing that I'd say, George, is, are you listening? Because we're all in this together and you're clearly not.